reporter in our area, changed careers to comedy and has never looked back.
And he's back in town performing this weekend. Please welcome Paul Morrissey. Hi, Paul.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good.
Thank you. It's good to be here in the bright lights again. Not this early.
Yes.
I was always the night shift, the sports anchor.
Yeah, let's dive right in. You're a comedian now, but let's take you back to your humble beginnings with your time with the one and only Curtis Ming.
Oh yeah, well, my first on-air job was in the Chico Reading market, so I was the sports anchor, and then I also had to do 2 days of news. So I wasn't made for the news. Whenever they tell me like go to there was like a robbery at this park.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't want to go anywhere near there. There's a robbery there. I'll go to the mall and ask people what they want for Christmas or something. So I was always like man on the street kind of stuff. So they're like, we'll make him sports anchor just so he doesn't do this news stuff anymore.
Sure.
Are you still into sports now?
Yeah, I love sports. I played basketball in college, and I was always a fan. And then here's what happened. Later on, I got asked, hey, can you pretend to be a sports reporter in a Nike commercial? And I said, yes. I did that for a couple years.
Nice.
And then, so I got paid more doing that for one day than I did the whole year of being a sports anchor. So I was like, okay, show business is for me.
Love it, love it. I mean, listen, there's a lot to tackle, but you're performing here locally. What's home for you these days?
Well, Los Angeles.
Okay.
I grew up in upstate New York and did a little time in New York City, but yeah, I basically started in this club that I'm performing at, Laughs Unlimited in Old Sacramento. I was the weekend sports anchor, and then Monday night there was an open mic, and one of the women there was like, hey, you're really funny on the news, you should do stand-up, and then just kind of went, I do the 6 o'clock news, do a stand-up show at 8 o'clock, and then do the 11 o'clock
That's
news.
a transition.
And then pretty soon it was just like, oh, I'm pretty good at this, and then I moved to New York. And I started working with a great comedian, Jim Gaffigan, who ended up becoming pretty famous. And then worked with Tom Papa on a couple TV shows with him.
Okay.
On a sitcom for CBS. And we tour together still now. He does a lot of bread stuff. I do a lot of ice cream stuff. So
I love your shirt.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm a big ice cream fan. And then one of my new things for the last 10 years, I perform in 2 new countries a year. So I did Japan and Australia last year.
Okay.
But I still come back to Sacramento.
When did you start comedy, like full-time?
Full time, my first Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson was 2006.
Oh,
okay.
Good old
So
Craig,
you've been doing
so I
it for
did
a while.
that 4 times, and then I was one of the last comedians to debut on the David Letterman show. That was like my dream show to do.
do you have like a favorite moment with David Letterman? I still watch Letterman TV now, and I watch all the old clips.
Right.
It's so great.
Well, I mean, when I was a little kid, I snuck out, because it was on at midnight, and I saw there was a guy who was like jumping into a tank of water with a suit made out of Alka-Seltzer. And whenever they ask you, like, what do you want to do for a living? I was like, is that a job? Can I do that job? And so I skipped school in high school to go to a taping of Letterman. And I was like, I just want to be a part of this. Like, I can work as an usher. I could be backstage, but I just want to be a part of it. And then a few years later, I got to be on the show.
Love it.
I did get bumped one time by Regis Philbin, which means that you get to not be on the show. So my parents flew in, my girlfriend, everybody.
And you got bumped.
And then they tell you, like, as you're there, like, but Dave apologized to me on the air, all this kind of stuff. So it ended up working out great in the long run. So.
Paul, I'm so tempted to have you either read prompter or give us your best, sports report based off of the NBA Finals.
Oh,
do you want to do something?
I don't know. The only thing I remember, I used to do things Sunday. This is a non-existent business now, but I used to do the Buzz's Crab Fresh Catch of the Day.
All right, I love it.
That was my little segment. But
There's
yeah,
your shot right there.
Here's the thing: I used to have to. So this is what I would do. I had a $500 clothing allowance so I had the weekend sports anchor. So I wear the half suit.
Yes.
Because you can't afford a full suit.
Yep.
So I would get 2 jackets, 2 shirts, and then wear shorts and sneakers underneath. And then I used to wear contacts just to read the prompter, and then I would take them off after that. I had a pre-tied tie on the rack.
Wow.
So I cut every corner that you could. So me being here in the morning is a reminder. I do love the action and the excitement of working in news, but the hours, I appreciate everything that you guys do, because I know you put a lot of work into it.
You're a night owl, making us all laugh.
Well,
okay, so
Laughs. Okay.
you're going to be at Laughs?
Yeah.
Yeah, Laughs Unlimited. It's one of the most historic clubs in the country. You know, we were just watching some old videos last night of like Bob Saget and Dana Carvey and all these guys goofing around in Old Sacramento like in the late 70s. So it's got a ton of history. Same building that I started in. So great show. 7 and 9:30 tonight, and then my new special is coming out next month. So you can check.
Congratulations!
Awesome. Congratulations.
Paul has a website.com is the website, but I'm also Paul has a website on Instagram.
Paul has a website. Check him out tonight. Laughs Unlimited. But yeah, do you want to?
He's going to take the teasers.
Oh,
I'll scroll the prompter. Ready? Go for it.
Okay, a Papa Baker in the 209 will satisfy your sweet tooth. We'll get a look at the tempting menu in just a bit.
Keep going.
Stay with us.
Keep going.
And reading your good news each Saturday gets me so pumped up I want to run through a brick wall like the Kool-Aid Man. Oh yeah, tell me something good. It's coming up soon. So send in your good news to goodday@kmaxtv.com.
Yeah!
Those are
Paul
big
Morrissey,
words.
everybody.
Big words.
A lot of words.
Thanks for writing it big for me.
All right, Paul Morrissey.
It used to be so far away.
Yeah, you don't need contacts for this one, huh?
Yeah.